Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's Danny Elliott. Thank you for watching me today. So I got a story from the fools up in Canada who are burning down the houses on purpose again. Toronto police say a fire ripped through 6 townhomes under construction in Yorkville, 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday. And they arrived to find heavy fire and smoke. All of the townhouses under construction were engulfed in flames. The radiant heat from the blaze also blew out windows on buildings across the street and damaged nearby vehicles. And several adjacent buildings were also damaged. And this has been going on for several years now. And it's suspicious, guys, and nobody knows what's going on. The police have no idea what's going on. This isn't the only one of these. Homes under construction set on fire in suspected arson attack. York police are searching for 2 men after a pair of homes that were under construction in the township of King were burned down last weekend. The fires happened on Saturday morning in a new build residential area, and officers arrived on the scene finding 2 homes under construction engulfed in flames. And video footage shows 2 men driving up to the area in a new Dodge Durango, walking up the street with jerry cans. Those are gas cans. And then appearing to light the 2 homes on fire and then fleeing the area. And, police have no idea what's going on with that one either. And then we got hundreds of homes under construction that have gone up in flames since 2022. Fires erupting in new subdivisions from Bradford to Burlington, from Vaughan to the Blue Mountains, leaving a trail of destruction, many unanswered questions. Lots of suspicious activity, unanswered questions. The media has no idea. The insurance companies don't want to talk about it. The police are investigating. They have no findings whatsoever. There has been an apparent spike in suspicious fires at new housing construction sites in the last year and a half. But determining why is difficult. The media is baffled. Flames lighting up inside of a darkened home. Seconds later, a person dressed in dark clothing and bright white sneakers bolts out the front door, dashing down the street under cover of darkness. All of this was captured by video camera. Home went up in flames, and among many, still under construction. And it's just one of several arsons committed between 1:30 a.m. and 3 a.m. at home building sites in the Valley View Drive and Chingwakusi Road area during a 3-week span in July of 2023. In that same year, there were dozens of what police deemed suspicious fires across central and southern Ontario, Canada. All of them at homes under construction in the middle of the night. And in one instance, an inferno in Vaughan last November ravaged at least 30 townhouses and a fire truck. So, why was the fire truck there if not to put out the fire? So you have a fire truck, but no firefighters, and these guys who are burning down the homes in Canada just lit the fire truck on fire too, and there were no firemen there to do anything about it. And in November, several townhouses under construction in an enclave of million-dollar homes in the town of Blue Mountains went up in flames. New construction homes that are in some stage of the construction process, but vacant buildings. Establishing the cause, origin, and circumstance of how a fire began is simply impossible. Really. Northbridge Insurance, a Toronto-based company that provides coverage to home builders, says they've seen a dramatic rise in the number of insurance claims. Oh, really? I think we're getting somewhere here, but I'm not sure. Quote, "We've seen 10 times more suspicious fires in the residential home building space than we've seen in the last 5 years combined," a spokesperson said for the insurance company. And that's backed up with another source familiar with fire investigations who would not speak on the record. And that source said there's been a noticeable uptick in the number of suspicious fires at construction sites. And online commenters have speculated that it may have to do with shady operators, organized crime groups, or soaring interest rates leading desperate home buyers to take action. Now let's just think about this for a minute. You got rising interest rates, buyers that are buying homes that aren't there. You should always make sure there's a home there before you buy the house. I don't know. I mean, would you go all in on a piece of real estate that wasn't fully developed? Because I wouldn't. That locked up a deal at a price, but then their interest rate went up. They decide they don't want that deal anymore, and the house isn't even there yet. They light it up, and they could just take the insurance money. Same thing for the developers. If the developers are building a subdivision, or they're building a townhouse development, and let's just say the construction costs go up, their profit just disappeared because the construction costs went up, their expenses are going through the roof now, and they decide, hey, we're not going to make a profit on this. Why don't we just light them up? Right? And the insurance companies, they don't seem to care because they're just going to bill it to the average homeowners who pay the insurance premiums on a monthly basis. They're the ones who get to pay for it. They're paying for all this insurance fraud. You think the police care? They don't care. The firefighters don't care. The firefighters let their own fire truck get burned down. These insurance companies are big campaign contributors to the politicians, right? The politicians want the firefighters and the police and all the government workers to support them when campaign time comes around, you know? So everybody's all in on it. You've got the firefighters, the police, big corporations, big insurance companies, the elected officials downtown. They're all in on it. Joe and Jane homeowner, they get to pay for it. All of the powers that be in our community are colluding to increase the cost of home ownership across North America. But meanwhile, these fires keep breaking out all across Canada. They're all going to go down in flames, and whoever controls that piece of real estate is going to collect an insurance check. And everything's going to be fine because nobody pays for it. The only person that pays for it is your regular Canadian citizen who's just going to work every day, working their 9 to 5, paying all these insurance increases, you know, dealing with the high cost of home ownership. They're the ones paying the bill. The insurance companies don't care. The fire department doesn't care. The police department, the elected officials don't care. Nobody cares. I don't know. I just think this is an indicator of how the fabric of our Western society is just breaking apart right before our eyes, in my opinion. That's just me. But we basically have no leadership in our community anymore. We just have a bunch of shady crooks. Everyone's a scam artist. You know, it basically is organized crime. That's what they said in the article. It is organized crime. And it's called the government. The government creates all the inflation, and the average citizens pay for it. And they get away with it because the voters re-elect them every single time. And I just don't like the way it works here in the West anymore, you know? This is why I always think about, you know, what does the future hold for me? Because the United States is not a place of community anymore. It's not a place where we support one another. It's a place where everybody just cares about the money. You know? What can we do to steal the money from somebody else and put it in our pocket? Right? That's the country now. And I think that there's a lot of places that aren't like that. I think there's a lot of places where, you know, the government isn't inflating the shit out of every good and service that average people need on a daily basis. But yeah, they're burning down the houses up in Canada and nobody knows why. It's just one of those Scooby-Doo mysteries that'll never be solved. But the insurance money continues to flow, and people just continue walking around with their gas cans at 3 in the morning, burning down new construction subdivisions all over Ontario and elsewhere, and getting away with it. So, yeah, if you're looking for a gig up in Canada, just call your local builder and see if they need anything lit up. And, you know, maybe they got a job for you. Anyway, guys, appreciate you joining me today. Hope you liked this episode. And give me a like and a subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I'm Danny Elliott.